Right, okay, take two. Good evening, everybody. My name is Richard White, and welcome to this Business Scene Weekly webinar. These webinars are designed to bring you cutting-edge information to help you grow your business, and you're guaranteed no sales pitch. The weekly webinars are free, and members of the Business Scene Academy can access all of the recordings. However, the great thing about the live presentation is that you can ask the speaker questions, and it will be my role to gather your questions and get them answered. So if you have a question, just type it into the question box on the right-hand side of your screen as we go along. Anyway, tonight's weekly webinar is called Video Marketing, How to Use Video to Promote Your Business. And I'm delighted to introduce our presenter, Neil Ginger. Good evening, Neil.
Good evening, Richard. Thank you for having me.
Excellent. Well, before we get started, perhaps you can just give us a little bit about your background and how you became an expert on video marketing.
Yeah, sure. Well, I started back in the industry back in the 80s. Had studios in London for 17 years. Now my team and I are now based in Berkshire. And really, since the arrival of YouTube in 2005, it's absolutely changed how people use video. And what we do is we specialize in marketing videos. That is, using videos strategically to help businesses win business. And really, since probably 2010 was the time that really we focused in on how to actually design videos to actually bring a result which will benefit our clients.
Okay, well, thanks for that, Neil. And I guess it's over to you. I'm going to have to move your slides for you, so apologies if it's not as slick as it should be. But let's get on to.
Shall I give you? I'll give you a prompt when I want them to move on. Shall I?
Yeah, and I'll right. Okay. So off we go, and apologies for the. I ought to get a Mac.
You must indeed come over to the dark side. Okay. Well, look, video is a tool with a specific purpose. It's not just decoration for your website. And I think this is a common mistake that a lot of companies make. At the moment, they're thinking that, yeah, we should be using video. They know they should be using video, and they're not putting enough thought into it, and they're really just using it as decoration for the website as opposed to how they should be using it, which is actually thinking a little bit more deeply about that process. So if we move on to the next slide, this is a sales funnel. And this evening what I'm going to talk about is how to use video within the sales funnel. And for those of you which might be thinking, well, what's a sales funnel? If you're in business, I guarantee you will have a sales funnel. You just probably maybe don't recognize it as such. All it is, it's at the top of the sales funnel, it's where you're waving your hands about, saying to potential clients, look over here, I'm over here, come and see what I've got. I've got a product or service that would be really beneficial to you. And once they've come over and you've got them interested, and you get them more interested, and eventually they become a client, and you then maybe once they become a client, you then resell them and sell them more products or services. That's a sales funnel where they come in at the top of the process, where they don't know you, they get to know you, become interested in your product, they buy your product, and that's a sales funnel where they come in at the top and come out at the bottom as a client. So tonight I'm going to talk to you about how to use video within that sales funnel. So there should be 4 basic questions you should be asking right at the beginning, and that is, where in my funnel will this video live? Was my video made for this particular stage of the sales funnel? What will someone do after watching this video? And will this video succeed in moving somebody deeper into my funnel? So if we now move on to the next slide, I'm going to give you a couple of case studies. The first one is Bill's Flower Pots Limited. Now, Bill's not a very wise fellow. And he uses video in a way that lots of other companies do at the moment. So let's just have a look and see what he's doing. He's got this new flower pot that he wants to give a free trial to the market. And he decides to commission a 90-second video where he's going to talk all about his flower pots. He then uploads that video to YouTube, and he embeds it onto his website. Now, that in its most basic form is a video strategy, but it is missing out on so much. So where he's failed, where he's fallen down, is he hasn't actually thought about how that video is going to reach his target audience. Yes, he's got it on YouTube. Yes, it's on his website, but he hasn't thought hard enough about actually pushing that video out so that the people who are actually interested in his free trial get to see it. He hasn't thought about maybe what stage the viewers are at in the buying process, and he hasn't even actually thought about who the video is aimed at. And most importantly, he hasn't thought about how someone's going to get to a sign-up page after watching the video. Now, for those of you who are thinking, well, hang on, what's a sign-up page? It's simply maybe a page which would sit on your website where people could go to actually enter their details so they get to be signed up for the free trial, so they would then get the free trial. So you just go to that page, you put your personal information in, your name, your email, maybe your address, and once you've done that, you submit it and you get the free trial. He actually failed to think about how someone would actually get to that page. And in his excitement, he might even have forgotten to mention the free trial of the video. So if we now move on to the next slide, we're going to look at Bill's brother, Ben, who's also got a flower pot company, but he's got a little bit more knowledge than his brother, Bill. And what he decides to do is he's going to make a 15-second in-stream advert that teases the trial to his viewer. Now, just for those of you which are a little bit confused about the term in-stream advert, I think many of you would have seen this, but maybe not recognized it for what it was. When you watch a video on YouTube, quite often you have to wait 5 seconds watching another video before you can skip it to watch the actual video that you wanted to watch in the first place. That first video is in-stream advertising. So what Ben has done, he's made a 15-second in-stream advert which sits in front of somebody else's video. He's targeted that advert to be placed on videos that his target audience would actually watch. So, for example, he might have targeted videos that are talking about gardening. And because he knows that people who are watching those videos about gardening, they're very likely to be interested in his flower pots. So he targets those videos to place his advert onto. He then leads those viewers to a specific landing page with information about what he does and a sign-up form for the trial. So he's now actually taken them away from the video onto a website to a sign-up page so they can actually sign up for the trial. And then he's linked that sign-up page to his CRM. So he captures all that data so that afterwards he can continue marketing to those people. So as a result of doing this, Ben has had many more prospects signing up for his trial. This was because his video was targeted using placements and shown before videos about similar products. These placements could even include his competitors' videos. So it's a really clever way of using video. So now if we go on to the next slide, I want to talk about the actual video marketing strategy now. So this sits within your normal marketing strategy. It shouldn't replace any marketing that you're doing, but it should be an integral part of your marketing plan. And videos should use the AIDA principle, which is a very old principle which is used throughout the marketing world, which is basically getting attention for your product or service, creating interest in that product or service, building a desire to the point where somebody actually takes action and makes a purchase. So every video that you make, you should think about using that principle within it. You need to take people on a journey where you grab their attention, build their interest, build their desire, and get them to take an action at the end of it. So strategy is about planning what your marketing aims are, what videos you'll produce, where you will place the videos, and how, most importantly, how you're going to measure the success, because you've got to be able to measure the success of videos as well, so you know whether they're working or not. So the things to determine are what video content will accomplish and for whom, what topics and types of videos you need to create, who's going to create them, because you have lots of choice out there, including creating them yourselves, where the videos will live. So what part of the sales funnel are you going to use those videos in, and how are you going to measure their performance? So that's the strategy right at the top, which you've got to work out before you start this process. So if we now move on, we're going to start looking at the very top of the funnel, so at the attract stage. So what you're looking to do is to guide viewers to your website. Use video with landing pages. Now, there's a statistic out there that if you have a landing page, this is, if you remember what we were saying, it's where people go to sign up for something, so you sign up for a product or service or a trial that you're doing. If you use video on that landing page, there's a stat that says video increases conversions by up to 80%. Now, that's a massive shout. I mean, even if, let's just say they've got that a little bit wrong, even if it's a 50% conversion increase, that's really worth doing. And even if you're skeptical of it, I would say certainly trial it and see whether you can get more conversions by putting video on your landing pages. If you do the video well, I guarantee you it will have an increase for you. The content should be authoritative. When people are searching online or looking at videos, quite often they're looking for solutions to problems they have. So make your video, make sure your videos answers people's problems. Videos are great for putting a face to your company. People relate to people, and we like to know who we're dealing with. So again, video is brilliant for putting an actual face to your company, so it's not just a brand they're dealing with. They can actually see a human face who they're going to be dealing with. Leave viewers with call to actions that helps them to determine what to do next or what to watch next. So always ask somebody to do something at an end of a video. If you don't ask, more than likely they won't do anything. So at least tell them what you want them to do, and then hopefully they'll do it. So the types of videos which are really good up at the top of the funnel here are talking heads. So where you're talking to people, telling people very briefly, because you don't want to be using long videos at the top here. They need to be short. And when I say short, I'm talking like under a minute. So this really teaches you to really be precise on what you're talking about. Because people don't like to hear waffle either. They just want to get some quick information at this stage. So talking heads are great. Build a how-to hub. So you've got a product or service. You've got lots of knowledge about that product or service, so educate people. Answer people's frequently asked questions. Use vlogs to give more information and to lead people to understand what it is or how your product or service will help them. Whiteboard animations are also really very good at the top of the funnel here. For those of you that aren't familiar with what whiteboard animations are, it's basically it's people drawing cartoons. You see a hand drawing messages, and it's basically people and a message coming over it. So whiteboard animations are great to describe processes, concepts, ideas. Really great for using in those scenarios. So now if we move on to the next one, we're going to go deeper down into the funnel now. So we're now looking at the interest. We've got a slight crash of the text there, so apologies for that. Video is great for increasing your SEO on your website. What video can do on a website, if done well, is stop people bouncing off on the home page. It engages them, moves them onto the next page of the website and onto another video. And then maybe after that onto another video on another page. And if you can get people to take this journey through your website, Google's going to see that website as being highly relevant. Because Google loves to see people traveling through websites and taking time on a website. If somebody bounces off, that website isn't relevant. If somebody stays on a website and travels through it, it's seen as highly relevant, and it will help your search engine rankings enormously. Video is great for helping people to make informed decisions about your product or service. It's good for giving insights into how your product or service will help their professional or personal life. Video can be used in a really laser-targeted way. To give you an example of this, a month or so ago we had somebody visit our website. Now we've got, like lots of companies, we have software which allows us to see who's visiting our website. It doesn't give you everybody, it doesn't give you all the information, but it gives you bits of information. And on this particular day, we saw that somebody visited our website and they'd gone to our whiteboard animation page. So we knew they were interested in whiteboard animations and we had their company information. So what we then did, we then sent them an email with a playlist of whiteboard animations attached to it. For those of you that aren't familiar with the term playlist, it's basically a folder with other information in it. And what the other information was in this case was other videos of whiteboard animations. So we sent them an email with a playlist of other whiteboard animations which we thought they might be interested in. Within 10 minutes of receiving that email, they were on the phone, quick discussion, and they ordered 7 whiteboard animations from us. That is using video in a very targeted way. So if you have a product or service, or different products or different services, make videos about them, put them in folders in the categories, so when somebody is interested, you can send them that folder, that playlist, with that information about your products or services in video format, which is a really engaging way, an educational way for people to consume your content. Very, very powerful. Call to actions need to be geared towards maybe getting people to take product demos or trials, or to get involved with you in some way, in an easy way to begin with. Types of videos which are good at this point: detailed demonstration videos about your products or services are absolutely dynamite at this stage, because people are now interested in what you have to offer. And they just want more information. They want more information so they can make an informed decision. So product tours or demo videos, absolutely brilliant. We added in this repurposed webinar recordings in as a result of what we're doing this evening, because again, you could use things like what I'm doing tonight, and you can repurpose that and send that out as an educational piece to people so they can understand better how to use your products or service. So now if we move on to the next slide. Converting. Okay, videos, absolutely brilliant for sealing and closing deals, both online and offline. So to give you an example of that, maybe people who sell products online, they have a retail store online. Videos are very good at demonstrating those products and getting people and helping people make the decision that yes, they want to purchase. Offline would be where you're demonstrating again a product or service, but you don't have the ability for them to buy online, but you're asking them to take an action like to call you to discuss more details, or call you to take a trial, or basically to contact you offline in some way or form where they could then make that purchase. Use video as a 24/7 sales rep. People buy all around the clock now. You know, when you've got a website, you can sell 24/7. So when people are browsing, and quite often people browse when they're at home in the evening or maybe early before they go to work, they're looking for products and services. So make videos that they can actually watch online, and that's selling while you're still sleeping. It's a brilliant way of using video. You can justify and reinforce why they should be purchasing from you. And again, I talk about call to actions a lot, because you've got to ask people to do things, to encourage them to take an action. So great videos to use at the convert stage are frequently asked questions. So people might be just on the verge of wanting to buy, but they might have a question that they want answered before they buy. So make some videos about your most frequently asked questions about your product or service. Recapping sales meetings. This is a very, very dynamic way of using video. The scenario here would be you've gone into a meeting, you met a prospect, it's a really good order that you could possibly get here. You've got to go away and you've got to do a proposal for that prospective client. When you do a proposal, do a video as well where you're talking through that proposal, because they don't just then have a black and white document which they're going to read through, but they have a video where you're back in their line of sight talking to them about how you can help them, how you want to work with them, where you can show your passion for what it is they have. It's a very, very compelling sales tool. We use it ourselves, and it absolutely has sealed various deals for us, and it's a really, really dynamic tool to use, so I'd highly recommend that. We've already talked about sales videos, testimonial and case study videos. These are brilliant at this stage of the funnel. Some of you might be thinking, well, what's the difference between a testimonial and a case study video? Testimonial videos is where your client would be talking to camera, talking about the benefits they've got from using your product or service. A case study video is just putting a little bit more meat on the bones. It's where they're doing the same thing. They're talking about your product or service, but they're also showing how they use that product or service in the real life. So it's just giving the viewer a little bit more information about how your product or service is used. Case customer journey videos. This would demonstrate to the prospect, the journey that they're about to embark on, how they will end up working with you, and the processes that they might go through. And again, it's just an education piece to help get that person across the line and sign on the dotted line. And so if we can now move on to the next slide, Richard. So delight. Well, it's so easy to just go that extra mile now. So you've now got a new client. So now, let's make them now a delighted client. So keep your customers engaged with your brand. Check in post-sale and thank them. I mean, just a simple thank you video for doing business with you. People like to be thanked. And educate and help your clients. So maybe do some instructional videos. So if they've just bought a product or service from you, send them a video about how to get the most from that product or service. It's a really great thing to do. You're again just helping them make the most of what they've just bought. Answer commonly asked questions. Maybe they're going to now be involved with other members of your staff. So showcase those customer service staff. Show the people they're going to be dealing with. Let them make a personal impression to the client. And also, it's a good opportunity now to maybe troubleshoot some common issues that people might have when they start using your product or service. So you cut out those issues by just giving a little bit more education at this point. So Richard, if we move on. We know how hard it can be to get new clients. So don't ignore them once you've got them. Once you've got a client, sell them more. They're already engaged with your brand. So keep them on your mailing list. Don't lose them, and keep talking to them. And video is a great way of talking to them. Something else you can do is you can ask them for a video testimonial. Now, some people, when I suggest this, think, oh no, we haven't got any clients which will give us the time. But testimonial videos can be great for your client as well, because with just a little bit of tweaking in the video editing, we could do a video which would benefit them as well as you. So they could use that video to talk to their client base about the brilliant product or service that they're now offering. So video testimonials can be absolutely dynamite for your client if you just explain how it could actually benefit them as well. But of course, it's also going to benefit you enormously. So well worth looking to do. Obviously, anything new that you got, any new products or services, do videos about them and send links to your client base so they're aware of it. So many of us don't communicate very well with our clients, telling them all about our product ranges and our service offerings. So videos are a great way of keeping people informed. Blogs educate people about how else you could help them and about how to use your products or services better. Blogs are also good for keeping you as an authority piece in your industry. Annual reports tell people about what a great year you've had. Again, it gives people confidence in you as a company. Any company updates, any information that you think might be of interest, you can use videos in newsletters as well. They're very engaging. So, think outside the box about how you could use video to keep talking to your clients. And, an existing client is just there ready and waiting to be sold to again. So let's move on to the next slide now. I want to very briefly talk about video search engine optimization. So what is video SEO? Well, without it, your videos won't get found on the search engines. If you put a video SEO is basically information which sits behind your video, which you put onto the video once it's been uploaded to the internet. If you don't put any video SEO onto your video, and you put it on YouTube and you put it on your website, when Google comes to look at your web page, all it's going to see is a blank square. It's not going to see video. Google cannot see video. So you have to tell Google what your video is. And you do that by putting video SEO onto it once it's uploaded. And in its simplest form, it's just 3 boxes which sit behind the video, and it's titles, descriptions, and keyword tags. And if you fail to put that information into those boxes, then your video, I guarantee you, will fail. It will not bring you traffic to the website. It will not be found in search engines, and you'll be missing a whole load of business. So this is absolutely critical that you do. How you apply it? Once you've uploaded your video to, let's just use YouTube as a platform of choice for the moment. Once you've uploaded your video to YouTube, you go into the edit function, and once you hit the edit button beside the video, you will then be able to put your titles, descriptions, and keyword tags into there. There's lots of things you can do within YouTube itself to help bring traffic, but I think we're coming towards the end, so I haven't got time to go into it today. But at the very least, go and Google video SEO, and there's a whole load of information on the websites out there which will help you make the most of your videos. We also have instructional videos on SEO as well on our YouTube channel. Now, if you could move on to the next slide. So you've gone to the effort, you've created your videos. That takes time, it takes effort, probably takes money. So don't just stop with embedding your video onto your website and putting it on YouTube. Think about YouTube as another website, because people will come and view your video on your YouTube channel. So you need to brand your YouTube channel to reflect your website, so people become aware of your brand. You can optimize your YouTube channel just like you can websites. Make sure you do embed your videos into your website, because if you do that and you SEO your video, it will bring you traffic to your website. So very powerful. Use social media platforms. Harness the power of social media. There's so many great social media platforms to use now which can drive traffic to the video. Use social bookmarking sites like Tumblr, StumbleUpon, and Blogger, and use other video hosting platforms as well. There's loads out there to choose from: YouTube, Wistia, Vimeo, and many others. So next slide. So in summary, think about the objectives you want to achieve from your video. Plan where in the sales funnel your video will sit. At the top of the funnel, they need to be short. As you come further deeper down into the tunnel, as people are more interested, your videos can become longer. Consider what call to actions you're going to use. Make sure that they're leading people further down into your funnel. How are you going to measure the results? Think about leading people to landing pages and using landing pages. And make sure you apply SEO to your videos so that search engines will find them. So if we go on to the next slide, I think, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That's a wrap. Any questions? Well,
thank you very much, Neil. So one of the questions we got is about, and I'm going to paraphrase it. So there's a lot of videos there. Presumably, there's a bit of effort in creating them. If someone wanted to create their own videos, how could they go about doing that? Rather than go to a company like yours and have it done, they want to do it themselves because they're really into video. What do they need?
Okay. Well, first and foremost, you've got to be aware you are what you publish. So if you publish rubbish, it's going to reflect badly on you. So things to consider are lighting. So do not record with a window at your back unless you've got lighting in front of you as well, because you don't want to be a silhouette. Make sure you're nicely well lit. Most importantly, make sure you've got good sound on your video. Sound is such an important part of video, so make sure you can get some very cheap microphones which will clip onto your shirt and plug into your camera, and will give you far better sound than just using the microphone on the camera. So think about your sound, think about your lighting, think about your background, what's behind you. Make sure there's no big distractions. And be very clear about what you want people to do. So make sure you've got that objective in the beginning. What do you want people to do at the end of the video? And make sure you ask for it. I hope that gives you a little bit of an idea how to start addressing video.
Okay. And what's your view of people using iPhones and things like that to do videos? Is there a place?
Uh,
Presumably there's a place for that, but where's the balance between the sort of the professionally made video versus the one which is done through iPhones and that
yeah,
sort of thing?
sure. Well, you're asking a professional, so I'm always going to lean one way, aren't I? But the answer to that is iPhones have their place, absolutely. But you do need to consider those other things that I mentioned previously about how you're going to film to make sure that you're getting the best quality that you possibly can. There comes a point where a certain type of client, prospective client, is going to want to see something a little bit more professional. So you've got to be aware of who you're targeting, what type of client it is, what type of prospect, and what they will want to be watching, and about credibility, because you need to be credible. If you're selling something, you need to be credible. But you can use video in so many different ways. So the iPhone can be used for very instantaneous kind of vlogging type stuff, when kind of on the move. It can be. You just need to give it thought. I can't stress enough how important it is to plan video. Even if you're using the iPhone as your video camera, put some thought into what you're trying to say, what the message is, what action you're looking for, and who is going to be watching. Because there does come a point where your prospects expect to see something maybe a little bit more polished.
Okay, so let's say you've got a business with a very small marketing budget, can maybe afford to do one video and get it done professionally.
Yeah.
What if they could only have one video, what would they do? What
Oh
do you
my
suggest?
goodness.
You've got
Okay.
a whole ton of videos, and let's say
Yeah.
which one is the most important?
Well, I guess what you have to do first of all is you've got to attract. Without attracting somebody in the first place, it's difficult to engage with anybody. So I would say probably a video for the homepage of the website, one that is going to help people stop bouncing off and actually engage them and move them on deeper into the website, because it's really important. You need that initial engagement. So a nice short video on the homepage. And when I say short, last year I was saying to our clients, do under a minute. This year I'm saying, under 45 seconds if you can do it. Because when people come to your website for the first time, they don't know you, don't trust you, they're not willing to give you a whole load of time. First thing anybody does before they press the play button on a video is they look at how long that video is. And when they don't know you and don't trust you, they're not going to give you a lot of time. So you need to make it an easy decision for them to press the play button. So something under 45 seconds is, in my mind, an easy decision for them to press play.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much. So do we have any more questions? If you have a question to ask Neil, there is a box which says questions on your right hand side. Please enter that. Otherwise we'll bring things to a close. Okay. I'm getting a lot of feedback from Steve Harris. Thank you, Steve. He's mentioning about Fiverr.com doing great videos. He's also mentioning iPhone is great for video. It looks like he knows. He's done some stuff, and he mentioned about buying a green screen studio with lights for £70. Presumably that was from Amazon or someone like that. So Neil, then perhaps you can tell us a little bit about how you work with clients.
Sure. Well, the first protocol when a client calls up is to understand, what they're trying to achieve from video, what their products or services, who they're trying to market to. Once we understand that, then we go into scripting with the client. So scripting is really very, very key to video, because you need to build in keyword terms into videos, so that those videos, because there's lots of things we'll do afterwards with the script to make sure that it drives traffic to the video. So we work very hard on the scripting stage. We then storyboard, putting visuals to that. Then we go into production. then the editing process, which is again a very exciting part of the process because there's lots we can do in editing. And then we come to the upload and the video marketing afterwards. So, you know, we're looking at the video SEO, making sure that it drives traffic to the videos, and video promotion thereafter, so channels to use to drive traffic. So an end-to-end solution we do right from the concept stage, scripting stage, right through to the promotion of the videos afterwards.
Great. And so I've got a late question in about whether you've got any guidance for whiteboard animations.
What, doing them yourself or doing them professionally?
Well, just doing them. So let's say you're going to get someone to do it for you, but you know, maybe use Fiverr or use you or something like that. I know you'd write the script, but if someone was on a low budget looking to do a whiteboard animation, what do you have any guidance?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, budget is always key. If they haven't got a budget, then Fiverr is certainly a cheap option. But as with all these things, you know, you get what you pay for.
Okay.
You know, Fiverr probably won't give you the video marketing strategy. They won't probably give you all the stuff which is actually going to bring a lot of traffic afterwards.
Okay.
It might give you a nice looking video, but that's probably about it.
But what guidance would you give to somebody other than, you know,
it goes back to the fundamentals, what we were talking about earlier on in the presentation. It's understanding really the message that you're trying to deliver and who you're trying to deliver it to and the action that you're looking for at the end of the video. So always look to use video in a very marketing way. Look to deliver a message and get an action, whether that be real video or whether that be whiteboard animation.
Great. Okay. So if people wanted to, sorry to cut in. So if people wanted more information, what website should they go to?
Ginger Multimedia. So gingermultimedia.co.uk is our website.
Okay. And I understand you've got a freebie. We always like freebies. So
yes, especially for the business scene people. We've got free download of this presentation, so you can get an ebook of this presentation by going to gingermultimedia.co.uk/video in sales funnel, and you'll get a download of this presentation so you can look at it at your leisure.
Yeah, and I've had a look at it, and it actually builds on this presentation, so it's actually very good. Not as surprising, but it is actually very good and well worth having a look. So, well, thank you, Neil, and thank you everybody else for joining in. If you're not already a member of the Business Scene Academy, then please check it out. The URL is benefits.business-scene.com/academy. My name is Richard White, and I look forward to joining you at a future Business Scene Academy weekly webinar. Thank you.
Thank you.